So this is my build video number 4 for my FJ80 Land Cruiser. Kind of running a little bit low on funds. Things are really adding up. Had some extra body shop costs I didn't really plan on doing that I had to take care of. So one of the things to save some money that I'm doing is I'm de-rusting this receiver hitch assembly, because I plan on towing quite a bit with this thing. It was really bad, this hitch. I had planned initially on just buying a new one, but it's just not in the cards, just to save a little bit of money right now. I put this in an electrolysis bath, and I'm trying to save it. Personally, I think an electrolysis bath is perfect for something that you're not in a real big hurry to get done. It takes a couple days to do. I know online there's a lot of people that use like a trickle charger, but I found personally that using a pretty serious charger works best for me. So right now this charger is set at 40 amps, and it's been sitting here for, I don't know, probably a day and a half. I'm just using an old brake rotor for all the rust is getting stuck to the old brake rotor. So I'm going to pull that out here in a few minutes. I just use a cheap Harbor Freight tarp and set up some walls around it, and you can make a pretty big electrolysis tank that way for hardly any money. So anyways, I'm going to pull that out shortly and see how that goes. I'll show that in my next video. So this is my 4th video for my 80 series. The second video I recorded and something went wrong with it, so I wasn't able to upload that one. So I did upload a 3rd one. This will be my 4th one. So I have made quite a bit of progress since video number 3. I added some power ports here in the back, which is kind of nice. I ran the wiring up along the factory wiring inside along the quarter panel and under the door sills, and then it goes up and it's all on a separate fuse circuit for that. It's even got a little voltage meter you can turn on and off. So I got dual USBs and then a power port there. I got the doubled in stereo with GPS in. That's working. One of the big things I accomplished was that I got these windows redone. So I got all new seals. The inner slider channel is brand new. The outer weather stripping's new. And while I had the glass out, I went ahead and scraped off the tint. Had new 20% tint installed. This tint's pretty nice, supposed to reduce heat by like 50% or something that goes into the cab, so we'll see how that goes. I still have to do the rear doors, the rear door glass. The front doors are done. So yeah, this is something, if you have an 80 series with these kind of windows, I highly recommend doing this, because what happened to mine was I was starting to get quite a bit of rust in here in this channel on the body. It was to the point where it was just about to start getting cancerous, so I was able to just grind it off. I didn't have to do any cutting out of the metal. I just ground it down back to bare metal, and I treated it and painted it. So it should be good for quite a long time. Also, the aluminum frame in here can get pretty corroded because there's just bare aluminum inside this rubber, and so moisture gets trapped in there and corrodes the aluminum. The worst side was the driver's side here, and this was corroded really bad. So what I did is I ground off all the corrosion. Really didn't take me too long, and then I coated it in some metal etching primer, and then I painted it. So doing those steps should help stop the corrosion of the frame. Should make it last a long time. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I really wanted to do the pop-up windows but I mean, it's like $900 per window. So this was quite a bit cheaper just to refresh these windows. Yeah, that was a major hurdle. So now I can drive it. I still have to get this channel in here. I drove it the other night. Maybe you saw that video. I don't have these channels in, so when you drive it, it's kind of like having the windows cracked. So a lot of air noise is made because of that. But man, it's just driving great. I'm really happy with it. Still got to work on the cruise control. Still having trouble getting that working. And then I got some wiper arms from a 3rd gen 4Runner. I read online that these are a great upgrade compared to the straight wiper arms where you got to put 2 screws in to hold the wipers. This is a 92 model, that's what that had. Anyways, that didn't seem to be the case. These wipers did not really fit very well, these arms. One thing I had to do was, on the 3rd gen 4Runner arms, they hit the cowl right here. So I had to grind this arm. I had to grind about a 1/4 inch off the arm. They're only aluminum, so it wasn't too hard to grind it. But I had to grind them quite a bit in order to get them to work. I don't know if you can kind of tell how much I ground there, but so yeah, those are working. I got my new aftermarket mirrors. So coming along. I think next I'm going to try and get that hitch in. A couple of the hitch bolts broke inside the frame because they've been in there so long, so I'm going to have to work at getting those welded nuts broken loose and then weld some new nuts in there or something somehow. Down here I have to patch this up. The last owner really butchered this cross member. It's pretty bad. It looks like they chopped it out with a hatchet. So stay tuned. I'll try and video that after I get it patched up. Hopefully I'll have the hitch on, and then once the hitch is on, I can get the spare tire in. So one thing I did that you guys might find interesting is this thing has updated e-locker axles. So these axles are from 96 Land Cruiser with the factory e-lockers that I all wired up. But I retained the drum brake, parking brake cable to save some money. The problem is that the parking brake cable from the drum brakes is longer from wheel to wheel, so you have to shorten the cable. So what I did is I cut the lead stops off, and rather than making new lead stops, which I've done before, it's kind of a pain, I just used aluminum crimps from Lowe's, and that worked really well for me. So that kind of saved me a little bit of money and time, not having to buy a new parking brake cable. Another thing I did was I added some seam sealer around here in this rear area. The seam sealer here, the factory stuff, was cracking. And one thing you don't want is you don't want moisture getting underneath these panels through this, into the spot welds. So the seam sealer is really important in stopping that. So I chipped off as much of the old seam sealer as I could, and then I put some new in. So hopefully that'll prevent any rust happening in there. So that's it for video number 4. Thanks for watching.